Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Connecticut Showcase. I'm excited to have you here and hope that you get to take advantage of all that we're offering today. My name is Samantha Plord, and I'm a Director of Enrollment Management at one of the Connecticut community colleges. And today I'm presenting on the Connecticut Community College commitment to accessible and affordable education. So I'm excited to be here today. This presentation, I'll just give you a little bit of a warning, is not going to be like many others that you've attended. I'm going to start actually with a personal story that reveals a really true and honest account of my college history. I tell this story quite a bit, and I'm actually very honest about my college ventures because I think that there is value in my story, and I hope to help others. It's really important to note that this story, my story, is not unique. There are so many others out there with similar or worse stories than mine. So, by the end of the program today, I hope you'll gain some true insight in the value of a community college education on several levels. So one, of course, is financial. Many people use that as a very significant factor in choosing a community college, but it isn't the only reason why people choose a community college education. There's also that emotional value that comes with it, which I'll get to in a little bit. A community college education also has a high community value. I mean, it's right there in the name, community college. Majority of community college attendees actually stay within their community after graduation to get a job and reinvigorate the community around them. Students use professional resources found in internships, recommendations from instructors, speakers, et cetera, to get permanent jobs within the state, adding resources back into the state, which of course is what we all want to see. And then lastly, there's a personal value that comes with a community college education. And again, I hope at the end you sort of see the personal value that can come with this type of education. So let's start with a number. 106,545, 106,545. So this can be a very small number or a very large number, depending on how you look at it and sort of what the context is of what you're looking at. So try to picture these things as I say them. If you're thinking about grains of sand on a beach, 106,545, that's pretty small. You probably can fit that in your hand. The number of people on Earth, that's a small number comparatively. Cars stuck in a traffic jam, that's a pretty large number. Bananas in a room, again, a large number. However, what this number really represents is dollars. At the age of 22, I graduated from a private Connecticut four-year college and walked across that stage in 2009 with that number attached to me. When I was applying for colleges in 2004, 2005, so going back, I was told by counselors, teachers alike, to focus on what I wanted to do and not to worry about money, that I wouldn't have to worry about it. I'd have the ability to pay it off in the long run with a degree. I'd be rolling in, no problems. The degree was most important. Don't worry about what it costs right now. I was a first-generation student, and I come from a family of 5 kids, so my parents could not assist with paying for college. Not that I would really want them to. I didn't really know what that amount of debt meant. I assumed that once I had a job, those payments would come easy, right? I honestly did not know what a weekly paycheck would look like. And maybe many of you, if you're a student out there, you've never really held a job or a long-term job or a consistent job. Maybe you don't know what that looks like. So let me give you a little bit of an idea of what that looks like. The average starting salary of an associate degree holder is between $35,000 and $40,000. And the average starting salary for a bachelor's degree holder is $50,000. When I graduated, I was excited thinking about that money. What would I do? Buy a car, get out of my parents' house, get a dog. I had dreams, albeit they were small, but I had dreams. What I actually did was get married to someone who had more college debt than I did. Smart, right? Not only did we get married, but we moved to another state, away from familial support, where we had to pay rent, our student loans, car payments, food. Really a smart move for us. Oh, and remember that dog that I had considered a few minutes ago? We got 2 of them. Our combined salaries together was only $60,000. We both had bachelor's degrees, but our starting salaries were nowhere near what it was expected to be. So let's break that down a little bit. My salary alone was only $28,000, and I was bringing home $1,800 a month. Remember those pesky student loans? My monthly student loan payments were $735 a month. As you can see here, I paid $500 towards our $1,000 rent. Utilities split were about $100. Student loans, of course, were $735. Car insurance and payments and gas were about $200. Groceries were between $200 and $3 a month split. Another $100 for cell phones. And for those of you with fast math abilities, that equals $1,735. Of my $1,800 monthly take home, I had already spent all but $65 of it on bills, required bills. $65 does not get you very far. Perhaps a night out to dinner or a gift or something for yourself. More often than not, it went to groceries or to our drives back home. I'm now in my mid-30s and still carrying some of that debt around. The debt is obviously much, much smaller, but it still burdens me 11 years later. It took us 5 years, moving back into my parents for 18 months, and lots of frugality, but we were able to afford to live. Why am I telling you this? Why is this important? Why do I think you want to hear it? Because it resonates. I wish I had attended a session such as this before I went to school. I wish I had a counselor tell me that it mattered and that money should play a role in my decision. You're probably thinking that I made bad choices and you would never make the same choices until you paid off your loans. But at some point, you realize that life goes on, whether you have debt or not, and you wonder what you may be missing out on. So what I am not telling you is that attending a community college is the only choice you should make. There are so many ways to utilize a community college, even if you choose not to attend traditionally. So, of course, there's that traditional 2-year degree. You stay for your 60 credits, you graduate, and you walk away with an associate's degree. If you go full-time, 15 credits at a time, you can walk away, you have an associate's degree. You can also start just a semester or 2 or 3 or just a couple of classes here and there, and transfer before you get an associate's degree. Many students choose that option if they're looking to increase their GPA, if they're looking to kind of figure out what they want to do. They start at a community college because it's the more affordable option. And then once they kind of identify what they want to do or increase their GPA, they transfer on to a 4-year institution. We also have summer and winter courses that you can utilize. We have lots of students that take classes at 4-year institutions. They start at a 4-year institution, but they subsidize their education with taking a summer class or a winter class at the community college level, so that maybe they can take 4 classes at the 4-year institution and take the 5th class over the summer or winter. Or if students want to graduate a little early from the 4-year, they can take a couple courses over the summer and winter and kind of knock off some of their semesters at the 4-year institution. We also have something called companion courses, where students take their 4 or 5 classes at the 4-year institution and then take one at the community college during the traditional semester, whether it's online or if you live close enough to come to campus to take that class. So you kind of can either complete your semester or add an extra class into your semester for a much more minimal cost. Sometimes people just want to try something new. Sometimes they want to see if they like business classes, see if they're any good at accounting, to see if they like the hospitality or criminal justice or something. So trying something new, it's worthwhile to start at a community college because, again, the cost, and we have wonderful faculty and staff that are well known in their field that can help you gain that knowledge that you're looking to get. And then lastly, we have a lot of students that come to kind of bolster their graduate application. Perhaps they've already finished a degree. Perhaps they already have a bachelor's and they've decided to maybe do a career change and they're missing that science course that they were supposed to take or math course. They haven't taken enough. So they come to see us and complete the extra courses that they are required for their graduate degree. What does affordable look like? So looking more now at the actual numbers, these are the numbers that this is 2 years at any one of these schools. So at a Connecticut Community College, it's less than $10,000 to attend for 2 years and get that associate's degree. It's pretty affordable if you split it out over 2 years. And as you look up the scale, you can see sort of all the different colleges that are represented. You have Springfield Tech, you have the Central Connecticut State University, or the 4-year institutions, you have UConn, Hartford, UConn Storrs, Goodwin, you have University of Hartford and Trinity College. Look at those numbers. Again, these are only 2 years. So if you're looking at a 4-year institution, you need to double that. And that's what it would be. Or if you want to start at a 2-year institution, you take that $10,000 and add it to those numbers. So let's say you want to do UConn Storrs. The 2-year cost for in-state is $34,452. You add about the $10,000 and you're spending about $44,000 total on your bachelor's degree, which in the long run seems a lot more affordable than $68,000. In addition to just tuition, we are very affordable in different ways. So all of our campuses have parking on their campus, have free parking. And we also offer something called a UPass that allows students to get free bus access anywhere throughout the state. So as long as you take a class throughout the semester, it's included in your tuition, and you pick up your bus pass and you're allowed to go on and off the bus with your student ID card, no additional charge. We also have additional support services such as tutoring services or academic support center, and those are also included in your tuition. So you want to talk to your campus that you're looking at, perhaps Middlesex, Manchester, Assuntuck, Northwestern, to see what their hours are and see what their availability is. A lot of times we offer online tutoring, we offer in-person tutoring, but those are all included in your tuition. There's no extra charge for those as well. So that's a great resource to be able to have. There's lots of options for tuition assistance, so sometimes through an employer or through a parent who might work in the state. Make sure you touch base with your employer or with the business office to see if there are what the options are for tuition assistance. We offer payment plans and loan options through the financial aid office. Of course, we encourage everybody to file for the FAFSA just to see if there's anything available for students. But there are also other tuition assistant options as well. As I kind of mentioned earlier, we do have consortium agreements and transfer pathways through the four-year state schools. So students can take classes start at a community college, either complete their degree and complete the transfer pathway. So if we have over 25 programs that are built as seamless transfer pathways from the Connecticut community colleges to the four-year institutions, where students don't lose any credits and they begin at the four-year institution as a priority junior or a junior, and they only have 60 credits left to complete their degree. So that's a great pathway for students to take. We also have a guaranteed admission program through UConn, where students, again, can complete 2 years at the Connecticut community colleges and then transfer on as long as you maintain a certain GPA and are in a certain program. You can go through guaranteed admission program. If you have any questions, please touch base with the advising office at the college that you're looking at. And then lastly, something that's been new the past couple of years is our Pledge to Advance Connecticut program. This is the debt-free community college option that is available for new students. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this. If you're a brand new student and you have or will be graduating from a Connecticut high school, you have not attended or earned any college credit prior to, unless it was earned through like a partnership or while you were still in high school. You register for full-time credits, so 12 plus credits each semester, each consecutive semester. You have a FAFSA on file and you complete all that by the priority deadline. So priority deadline to start in the fall is July 15th, and priority deadline for the spring is November 15th. May be eligible for debt-free community college, and it's a last dollar scholarship. So when you file a FAFSA, whatever you're eligible for your FAFSA, so your free, your Pell Grant or your institutional grants, anything like that, that will pay first, and the PACT money will cover whatever is left over. So definitely touch base with your either financial aid office or the admissions office at the school that you're looking at, and they can talk to you a little bit more about PACT if you have more questions. As you can see, there are community colleges essentially within 30 minutes of everybody. So lots of options for our students, whether you're looking at Enfield all the way down to Farmington or, in Winsted or Norwalk or Bridgeport. We're all over the place. There are 12 campus locations throughout the state. So very accessible, very, you can really get to from one campus to another, many of them within 30 minutes of each other, some of them even less than that. So there's really no shortage of community colleges in Connecticut, which is great because I think, again, they're that affordable, accessible option for our students. Another good part about the community college is that we are open access. So we have no minimum GPA. We don't require any testing or SATs or anything like that. There's no essays, no letters of recommendation. We do offer really flexible class schedules. We offer in-person, online, and flexible schedules, which allows students to sort of take classes at one community college and at another. So if somebody really wants a program, lives near, let's say, Quinnebog Valley, you live near Quinnebog Valley, and you want to take a program that's really not offered there, but there's a program at Northwestern that is offered. You can take online classes through Northwestern. We're very, very affordable, very accessible to all of our students. And we're open enrolling admission, which means we accept students all the way up until the day classes begin and even beyond that. Of course, we strongly encourage students to complete their application and get enrolled well before that deadline. One, if you're new, to meet the PACT deadline, and two, so that you can look at the courses that are offered and make sure you're taking the classes that you want and need. So it's important to get the process started early. For placement purposes, we are using high school GPA. So make sure you get your high school transcripts over to us so that we can review your GPA, make sure that we're making appropriate placement. But we have advisors and everybody work with the students to make sure that they're in the appropriate location. Lastly, I hope you sort of can see, we kind of talked about a lot today. I hope you can see what I meant by the value of a community college education. What I took away from it was I wish that somebody had told me about the community college education. I can't blame other people because, I should have done my own due diligence, my own research. But community colleges are so accessible. And it wasn't until my last year that I started utilizing a community college. And I used the community college to give myself enough credits to get 2 degrees. So I was able to get 2 bachelor's degrees, which is great. It's not what if I had known about it from the beginning, I would have tried to graduate early so that I could knock some semesters off of my belt and graduate a little early. But there are lots of, it's not just financial, it's the emotional value that comes from a community college education. You can start off on a little bit better of a financial foot. You're more engrossed into the community. You see the value of that, what's being offered in the community. We have student activities. We have programs that are happening on our campus. We have guest speakers. We have Q&As that come from various speakers throughout the college. So it's worth exploring the community college option. And then lastly, for me, I have a personal value in community college education, so much so that I came back to work at one. I truly believe that community college education holds so much value to a person, to the community around it, to the community members, not just the students itself, but, to the businesses and students that have internships in the business. They reinvigorate the community around them. And I hope that you are interested in looking at community college education. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to anybody in the admissions office or financial aid office or the enrollment team at all in any of the community colleges. Thanks so much.